All right, so now I'm sitting here with Sergeant First Class Healy and also Staff Sergeant Healy, and you guys are married.
Yes. Yes.
Happily, right?
Yes, 16 years this year.
So how did you both meet?
So in 2004, we actually became neighbors in the barracks, which is like the apartment complex type thing that single soldiers live in and the Army provides you. And we became neighbors and just started talking and dating from there.
So I have to ask you, was it love at first sight for you, or how did that progress?
Well, she was in charge of a single soldiers program, and I saw her at one of our first meetings, and like we did lock eyes, and yeah, there was that kind of thing. So it happened to work out that she was my next door neighbor
Yep.
a couple months later. So it's funny how life goes, but
Yeah, because that could go terribly left too
Yeah,
if it
yeah.
didn't work out.
exactly.
Now, can you talk to me about what you enjoy about being a recruiter?
So for being a recruiter, I love personally the social aspect. I've been in multiple fields aside from just being in the Army. I've also been a civilian police officer as well as a licensed practical nurse. And most of my jobs are within the community, dealing with people and learning all their multifaceted sides of them. And this kind of adds to that. I get to go into the community, talk to kids, talk to parents, talk to schools, and just tell them about my story and help shape their life. We have a teenager, and we have a younger son as well. So I really gravitate towards the teenagers and getting to help them decide and see what their goals are and how I can help fit that into the Army's story and life.
I mean, I like being able to help people out, give them a career, give them something that they have like a future. So I mean, I think it's important. So that's really why I keep doing it.
Yeah, and I can see you're very community oriented just by the list of things that you said you've been involved in already and the skills and abilities that you have. So can you talk to me about some of the things that you've done in the Army, like some of the benefits that you've got and actually used?
Okay, so I actually used my educational benefits when I separated from the Army the first time, active duty in 2007. I used my Montgomery GI Bill and I went to nursing school. I've used it towards my bachelor's in sports medicine. And what else? You used...
Well, I used the Army paid to get me LASIK surgery, so I got my vision corrected for 100% free, and I've never had an issue with my vision since, so that's pretty awesome.
Oh, and there's a huge... This is healthcare. Adults think about it, but a lot of 17 and 18-year-old kids may not be thinking about it. But in the adult aspect, if you're in the 20s range, it's important to know that healthcare is a huge thing. Our youngest, our 6-year-old, was actually born with multiple respiratory issues, and he had to be transferred to 3 different hospitals. In the end, he turned out to be $1.5 million of medical care and continuance of care for the weeks that he was in the NICU. We didn't pay any of that, so we keep those statements around to prove that that really is there, and it really did help and support our family. If we had to do that on our own, I don't know how that would have been accomplished, in all honesty.
Wow, that's amazing because as we are learning from this pandemic, healthcare is important, and it is a reason that people who could have been financially stable end up going broke. So
True.
being able to have that to your advantage, that's great. Now, tell me about in Times Square, right? This iconic location and what your job is there.
So I mean, I'm a recruiter just like her. You know, I recruit people out of Times Square, so a lot of it is community outreach too, though. So you know, we've done articles, events in the Times Square area. So it's just a lot of it is just being a good ambassador for the Army and showing that we're people too. We're not just some far off thing, yeah, that you can't like understand, but we're people. So that's what it's all about, really.
Usually seeing the matching names, people, it's like a conversation. Usually seeing the matching names, it's like a conversation opener immediately. They're like, oh, Healy and Healy. And then now they want to know, why do your names match? So, I mean, that's usually a conversational starter as well.
Do you talk about work at home all the time?
Yes and no. Only like right when we get home, if there's questions, he'll answer them or he'll teach me something because he's been doing this a lot longer. But other than that, no, not really. You gotta leave that at the office.
No.
Yeah.
Start putting on the civilian clothes. That's it. Take this off.
And you're right, there is this misconception, right, that 24/7 when you join the Army, that's all you do and you don't have a life outside of that. So can you break down like how much time and outside of, work that you guys have?
So we get home probably the same time everybody else does from their 9 to 5 job, and we have dinner together as a family. And we have kids, so they need to go outside and play. We stop at parks. We live here in Manhattan, and so we have parks pretty close by. We take our kids out. I mean, we do the same thing on the weekends. We're off. We go to the zoos. We hang out together, and there's a lot of activities to do and get around and about. So we have a lot of free time to be together as a family.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of misconception about people like deploying for 3 years and that's it. They don't get to see their family, but I mean, as we're proof of, we get to spend time with our family at the end of the day. On the weekend, we go out, we go check out the restaurant scene around New York City. We go to the Bronx Zoo, all that stuff. We have a good time. We love being here in the city, spending time in Central Park too. Central Park's awesome.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And I think y'all get more paid vacation time than I do at iHeart, if I'm not mistaken.
We get 30 days of paid
Yeah.
vacation a year, so.
Plus federal holidays. So like we're coming up on a 4-day right now for Memorial Day weekend.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I think we all learned a lot, and I love your relationship with each other.
Thank you.
So again, that is Sergeant First Class Healy and Staff Sergeant Healy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.